Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I want to race over, huh?
It was very nice, very nice, very nice, very kind of to the point, nice. They did a good job.
Man, I said the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I remember he was coaching that game Madison because he tried to put one of Nathaniel boys, Abel Nathaniel brother, Will Nathaniel.
Yes, sir.
He worked in the coach.
Okay. Well, I know, and Mr. McMillan, Adrian Nathaniel, and Steve McCullough were all assistant principals there when I was at Montpelier.
Yeah, we remember that.
Daryl's first year. We did. It was 7 o'clock, and, we'd like to welcome everyone here tonight. Most of you are here anyway during the day, but we welcome you back tonight. So, thank you for being here, and, we'll call the meeting to order. And would you please stand for the pledge, and remain standing for a moment of silence, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please see it, please. First off, we'd like to welcome Dr. Fisher back from her sick spell, and Dr. Combs informed me that she had a cancer-free checkup the other day. That's good.
I did, yeah.
Praise the Lord.
That's right.
And Mr. Joyner, glad to have you back with us.
I'm glad to be back.
And you're feeling better, we're glad to hear that, so.
It was always told me, yes.
Yeah, right. We'll open up the meeting with, do we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented? Motion by Mr. Davis, second by Mr. Joyner. All those in favor, let it know by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion passes. Do we have any additions to the agenda? I know Ms. Mary Samuel has, one. We'll do it, after the consent agenda, if it's okay, whatever we want. Would anyone like to, remove any item from the consent agenda so that it might be discussed? Mr. Benson?
Item I, no
Okay.
answer. I thought if it was okay with you and the board, that we could roll that into Dr. Bird's presentation, and she could give us an overview of that, and we could vote on it.
We can do that, yeah, that'd be fine. Is there any other item anyone would like to remove? Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda with elimination of item I to be voted on later? Do we have a motion to approve?
Make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Vincent, second by Mr. Clark, and all those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The motion passed. Dr. Bird, it's time for your report.
Thank you, Mr. Ferguson. Mr. Benson, I'm going to bring up Brooke Shipley, who is our elementary supervisor.
Okay.
You know that. And she's going to talk to you a little bit about Sunday and answer some questions. We'll kind of do it together, but in case there's something I don't know that she knows, we'll kind of tag team this together. But do you want to start with questions, or do you want us to just tell you what it is?
Yeah, overview maybe. Brief overview.
Well, first of all, the reason that we were looking at this program is because our current reading series is not aligned to our Tennessee standards. And we are not up for adoption until next school year. So Dr. Bird, myself, Monica Wilkins, Carlin McClowan, and Patrick Smith are all on a committee with the State Department called Ready for Resources. And we're looking at the resources very carefully before we choose for that adoption. So this time where we have been in the last couple of years where our reading series was not aligned, teachers have been having to pull from all different areas and create their own resources, materials to teach the standards. And so this Sunday learning will actually teach the foundational skills, which is just one part of the reading standards. And it takes some of that load off of them for planning.
Okay.
And it would be a phonics system and a tier 1 reading kit for phonics for each K-5 classroom. And then also, SPED would have a tier 4 component, 2 kits per building that would address SPED issues also. It's Fort Gillingham based, which is the gold star of phonics programs.
I did a little research on it and looked up various reviews and looked at a bunch of YouTube things and stuff like that. I'm all about phonics. And I think about, when I looked at it, I thought, okay, it's going to be good for dyslexia, I think, for non-English speakers. And it's got a lot of good benefits going on and stuff. But then I thought, as far as the foundational thing, okay, K through 2, I can see that, because I think, if I were king of the world, I'd have people just be reading and doing math probably until the 3rd grade. But I'm thinking about, the lesson plans. I like the idea that the lesson plans are included, so teachers really don't have to prepare. But the lesson plans, now you talked about incorporating it into your regular ELA block for a 20-minute slot. Well, the lesson plans say that they're made for a 35-minute lesson.
Well, what we're getting, the tier 1 is supposed to be 20 minutes. And foundational skills go all the way up through 5th grade. So you've got your literature, your informational text, your speaking, your listening and writing, and then foundational goes all the way through 5th grade.
Well, my thought was, let's say you got a 5th grader who's above his reading level, at his reading level, or almost at his reading level. What does that person do? I mean, will that person be doing phonics for 20 minutes along with people who, really need intervention?
It does not take the place of intervention. This really came about, Dr. Combs went to a TALS event where they were talking about the state dyslexia law. And so he actually brought in the rep for us to meet with. And we do have something that meets the state dyslexia law, which is SPIRE for tiers 2 and 3. And we didn't have anything in place for tier 1. And we just thought it would take some work off of the teacher.
Now, who are those people you said did you let other reading teachers?
We did, yes, sir.
Reading teachers like K through 5 level and stuff?
We did.
What were their thoughts?
They wanted it. And actually, the principals were already digging around trying to find different things. We had one school that wanted Saxon Phonics. We had one school that wanted Fundationals, which is another phonics program. And so we said, okay, instead of us buying all of these bits and pieces, let's try to find a program that will work for everyone.
So, tier 1 is, tell me what tier 1 is.
Tier 1 is the regular classroom.
The standards-based.
And we're buying tier 1 and tier 2, or?
We're buying, this would be tier 1 for the regular classroom, K through 5, a kit for each classroom. And then SPED, which is tier 4, we do SPIRE for tier 3. SPED would be just 2 kits per school.
So we'd be doing this program and also RTI, also an intervention for reading or whatever, is that true?
Two different things though, Mr. Benson. So this program, I know we're using educational jargon here, but tier 1 is just regular instruction. What we did when we taught, just up in front of the class, all my kids are in there. That's what we're calling tier 1. This is not an intervention for tier 1. And this is going to be standards-based. That phonics program is standards-based. When we talk about interventions, which is RTI, that's when we have tier 2, tier 3, et cetera. That is more skill-based, and we're looking at deficits, trying to catch them up. We're not teaching them grade level standards.
Right.
We're looking at what areas they're deficit in and addressing that during the RTI time. So it's really two different things, if that makes sense.
Well, I guess what the deal was, when I was researching it, I don't know, maybe my head was in an intervention phase or something? Because everything I read about the thing talked about it being an intervention type program.
Because that's mainly what they sell. We're not getting the intervention except for the 2 sped kits for each school building. This would be just for your regular instruction, so that that 3rd grade teacher that's still teaching phonics, because it's in her standards, her Tennessee State standards, that she's not pulling things and having to research and get her lessons together. It's all right here in a little kit.
Okay, so they get the kit, is it like, are we talking about like a thumb drive element too, where they print the materials
No,
and
sir.
stuff like that?
It's cards, it's a lot of different elements to it that is a one-time purchase. And they will get, each school will get 4 representatives to be able to go to a training that's all day. We already have those dates set and reserved in case this, went through, because those dates were filling up. So 4 teachers from each building will be able to attend a full day on how to use this in their regular instruction.
Okay. So this is gonna be, all reading teachers are gonna be required to use this system. Is that right?
Well, it's up to their principal how much they require them. I think they're gonna want to use it because it's something, they're required to teach the standards, and the foundational standards are in there. So they're required to teach those foundational standards, whether they choose to use this or not.
It'll benefit, we're hopeful that it will be a benefit to the teachers, because they'll no longer have to go out and search for whatever common standard they're trying to teach that day. They'll have the materials right there on hand.
Other questions, I think?
Anybody else on Sunday?
Anybody else have any questions? Do we have a motion to, on this item? Motion by Mr. Joyner, second by Ms. McCarthy, that we, consideration for the Tier 1 Foundational Reading Program contract that we will do this for them. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. And those opposed, no. Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The only other thing I have, one is some exciting news. This summer, we're hosting currently lit camps or literacy camps in our Title I elementary schools. The students attend 2 weeks in June and another week in July. And this is a non-traditional summer program that's centered around literacy activities and STEAM. They've gone on several field trips and just immersed in reading activities. Each school has 28 students. They're rising 2nd or 3rd graders attending literacy camp, so we're really excited about that. I just wanted to share that with you. And then the last thing I want to do is talk to you about our new administrators in Tippah County. We have 8 new, either principals, assistant principals, or supervisors, and so I'm going to introduce them to you tonight in case you don't know. These are the 4 schools that will have new principals, effective July 1. Brighton High, CIAA, Munford Middle, and then the Teen Learning Center. This is Dr. Brian Norton, and pictured and showed him very well, but you can see it later if you want. He comes to us from, he's had work experience in Henderson County and Henry County. He's been a teacher, assistant principal, assistant superintendent, and he's also been a professor for 7 years at Union University, has taught biology. So we're excited to welcome Dr. Norton to Tippah County. CIAA, the new principal there is Ms. Christy Ross. Ms. Christy has been a school counselor, and she's also been an assistant principal for a total of 9 years at Brighton Middle School and then at Austin P. And she's also done a lot of work in the district on our SDHA committee, so she is super excited. She said she was so excited she couldn't sleep. She's really excited to join the CIAA staff. Munford Middle has a new principal. It's Ms. Catherine Huffman. Just a little bit about her, 25 years of experience in Tippah County schools. She's been a special ed teacher, an assistant principal, a principal, special ed consulting teacher, and she has experience at Brighton High and at Munford Middle. She's currently Munford Middle's assistant principal, so she'll be moving up July 1 to take over a principalship there. And then Teen Learning Center, we have Mr. Citrus Bounds. Has been in our county for 8 18 years, taught special ed, was assistant principal at Brighton High, and since 2015, he's been assistant principal and the athletic director at Covington High. And we have 3 new assistant principals at Austin P, Covington High, and Munford Middle. This is Miss Leanne Stewart. She will be the assistant principal at Austin P. Has 15 years of experience. She's taught regular ed. Most of her experience has been in special education. She's been at Austin P, Brighton Middle, and then she's been a special ed consulting teacher for 4 years at Drummond's and Munford Elementary. Covington High School's new assistant principal is Sherry Washington. She has 13 years of experience. She's taught elementary school and middle school, and the last 2 years she has been at Covington High School as their Title I school-wide instructional facilitator. And Munford Middle. This is Ms. Carson Lowndes. She has 7 years of teaching experience at Munford Middle, and you probably, I think you remember this. She was Munford Middle's Teacher of the Year this year. She was Tipton County Teacher of the Year, and then she was one of the 9 finalists for Tennessee Teacher of the Year. We're really proud of her, and currently she's a member of the Commissioner's Advisory Team, so she has direct contact with the Commissioner, and was recently named a 1920 SCORE Fellow, and I believe I told you guys about that 2 meetings ago. And then our last position, we have a new supervisor of pupil services, and that'll be Mr. James Fields, taking over officially July 1. 29 years of experience. He has taught at the elementary, the middle, and the high school level. He's been an assistant principal and a principal at Covington High School, Crestview Middle, and at the Teen Learning Center. He has 17 total years of experience in administration. And he gave me a little quote that he is truly committed to our students in Tipton County and looks forward to his new challenges. And then just a little personnel update for you. We have hired, now this was as of Monday, so if anything's happened since then, these numbers may be 1 or 2 off. But as of Monday, we have 28 new teachers have been hired for 1920, and we will have new teacher in service for them coming up in July. They'll do 2 days as a district, and then they'll spend that 3rd day in their schools. And we currently have 9 certified positions that we are working to fill. That's all. Any questions for me?
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Dr. Fisher, Director of Operations.
Thank you. Thank you for your prayer, Juan, and I really appreciate that. I wanted to make an announcement. I put a flyer in your handout, in your folders regarding the adult basic education program. Tipton County, we have sent forth a grant, and we were awarded the adult education grant for Tipton County. This is funded through the Department of Labor and Workforce Development through the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. We're very excited about that. We will be serving just the Tipton County community for adult basic education, which you will probably normally think of as GED classes. So now we will be providing these classes for our local community. We will have to meet our college and career readiness standards. You see the different things that we will assist students with developing, pursuing career, employment, and their educational goals. We will provide a combination of academic, occupational, career guidance, and support services. We've also established quite a few partnerships already with like the Memphis Area Workforce Development Board, American Job Centers, TCAT, Children and Family Services, of course the Sheriff's Department, and then some other local community agencies. The classes will provide the following services. We'll have basic academic skills deficiency, low literacy, we'll address that. Individuals that are lacking a secondary diploma, our individuals that may be incarcerated, English language learners, and then those students that are in need of academic remediation for post-secondary education. So we'll be able to provide all of these different services. And you see there's definitely a focus on assisting them with becoming employable within our community, which we think is very important, as well as post-secondary. And we will be providing these classes here in Covington, as well as in the Munford community, and then our local jail facilities. So our incarcerated individuals, those that are 5 years or less, will be looking at those. Our implementation will be during June and July. As you see, we are looking at market hiring staff, training staff, and getting them ready for classes to begin in August. So we are excited about it, and so we're ready to provide just what we need to provide those services for individuals in the community. So we just want to make you aware of that. Y'all have any questions about that, about the grant? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bishop.
You're welcome.
Ms. Marion Samuel, have the contract order, read.
Good evening. I'm sorry if you have an extra contract in your red folder that did not arrive on the consent agenda, but I apologize. So this is the contract for benchmark assessments. This is from TE21 utilizing Mastery Connect. Last year, it was the same contract, however, Mastery Connect issued the contract using TE21, so they swapped to issue the contract this year, but it's the same company that we used this past school year. And so, as you may or may not be aware, all of the state assessments will be administered in paper and pencil for the 1920 school year. The high school principals have asked to continue their benchmark assessments online because it is only a one-year hiatus and they don't want to put their students back on pencil and paper. So the contract includes administering grades 1 through 8 on paper and grades 9 through 12 online. The contract also includes the item bank from the company that is creating the assessments. It allows the teachers to use those items as they create little formative assessments in their classrooms to check for understanding. And they can utilize the Mastery Connect platform to administer those. There's also a feature that allows the teachers to compare their formative assessment results to the benchmark assessment results. And so, I'm here tonight to ask for the approval of this contract.
Do we have a motion to approve this contract as presented? Motion by Mr. Shipley, second by Mr. Davis. Are there any questions? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Those opposed, no. Motion passed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Samuel. Mr. Donnie Watts, construction update.
Good evening. Good evening. Have a couple of things. Our roofing project is going along pretty smoothly. Rescue Mill, the rock's been moved, and we have about 60% of the roof installed. So we're going to be through a couple of 3 weeks. Coming to high school, the rock's been removed. Scheduled to be installed first week of July. It's going to take about 3 weeks on that project. Now, Mudford High School, rock's scheduled to be removed end of June, 1st of July. And of course, you know, re-roofing that roof is probably going to be end of July and August.
That's the Mudford Middle.
Mudford Middle.
Yes.
Yes. Any questions on the roofs?
Mr. Donnie, you said earlier that it might be an issue with some underlay on these roofs. Are you running into any of that, or?
Not so far, we haven't.
Right.
But I mean, we've only torn out into Rescue Mills for a long
Right.
time, so we're in pretty good shape there.
I see. Where do you expect to run into the underlay?
Well, where we had the worst leaks,
I see.
of course, you know, the area that they haven't got to the Rescue Mill, you know, there's a possibility there, so when they get to that area, I'll be up there looking at it, make sure we don't have any rusted metal deck or wet insulation. Any more questions on the roofs? The other issue is the Covenant High School weight room. I'm gonna kind of read this off. We did this out into like 3 phases. Phase 1, of course, is the existing locker room and weight room. Basically there was just adding like 847 square feet. the rest of it is adding some air conditioning in the locker rooms, painting and redoing the showers. The price on that was $519,365. Phase 2 is, of course, the restroom and concession building. That building is 1,656 square feet. That's a new building altogether. And that bid price was $689,036. And it's pretty easy to come up with a cost per square foot on that building. And it was $416 a square foot. Phase 3 is the old homes gym, cafeteria, and kitchen area. Basically, replacing some doors, painting, blocking in some windows, adding air conditioning, and removing all the partition walls back in the cafeteria area. That bid price, $1,092,615. Of course, the combination bid on all three was $2,114,778. In my opinion, this is, we only had one bid. We tried to solicit many others, and they said that there just is no number right now. We even delayed the bid, for a week, trying to convince a couple other contractors to bid on it. Of course, they didn't turn anything in. This bid, in my opinion, is extremely high. I would recommend reject the bid.
Do we have a motion?
Glad you said that. My stomach's starting to hurt tonight. All spending all this money. Seriously. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
I think we want to be. Well, I'm gonna give you an example. I was just involved in addition to the jail. You can imagine how much steel and concrete's in the jail, concrete ceilings, high security, and it was less than $200. This is just like a stick, concession stand restroom.
I make a motion, we reject the bid.
Motion by Mr. Benson,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Joyner. Are there any other questions? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
The other thing that Dr. Coleman and I talked about, we're going to get with the principal and the coaches and have a meeting and see what our next step is.
What about A2H, Donnie? Aren't they supposed to really back us up and help us get bids for this?
Well, they tried to solicit other contractors, they didn't do that.
I mean, we've already paid them a good bit of money, like $75,000 today.
I think, what we've done in the past, this is a general contract. Now, a lot of projects were done like the safe room and the ag building and Brighton Middle School, build those additions. I mean, we've done that construction management. Now, the difference there is general contractor, they handle it all. Right. Construction management, we bid out to all the subcontractors ourselves and enter contract with them directly, eliminate, the general contractor. And you can save a lot of money.
Sometimes I just feel like A2H is dropping the ball on us, to be honest.
It's been an interesting project.
It has, yeah.
I spoke with, I'll say this, I spoke with the principal this week, and then I called Coach Kirby today, and so we're all on the same page with what's going on, and they understand that, we're gonna look at some other options there, to try to fix what's going on, but, obviously we can't, I agree with y'all, we can't drop $500 million on it.
Any more questions?
Thank you, Respect to our financial report.
I think you all know exactly what this is. I think Dr. Combs sent you some information, but we are including the grant that Dr. Fisher spoke about. We received $100,000 extra from the state for one more pre-K classroom. And then we had one minor shift that the state said we had to move a group of people from one position in the budget to another. So, I highlighted them for you so we wouldn't have to go through every single thing on here. And if you'll look on the second page, in the state of Tennessee section, you can see that, we had $1,030,000 in there, and we added to what the state is going to give us $1,133,000. And I changed the 54 that was in the school food services down to 51 to try to keep our revenues more realistic as, if we possibly could. So I took, just those $3,000 away from that. And then in the other state grants, that 46,980, that increased by $106,000, which is the grant that Dr. Fisher was talking about for adult education. So the total has changed for the state of Tennessee to $65,417,000. And then, of course, the estimated revenue has changed in the next yellow section to $83,954,000. And then the total estimated budget is $84,006,000. So that's the $206,000 added to what is on your old sheet. Okay, so if you'll turn page to the next yellow section, this is the one place where the State Department told SPED that they had to move the people who were in 71,200, 189. You see it's gone down. It used to be $50,000. It is now a zero because the state said take that money out. And so we reduced the Social Security by $2,000, and we reduced the employer Medicare liability by $500. And then we added it back, you'll turn the page, that reduced your total education of the handicap by that $52,500 to make it $8,323,500. And then drop down to the next section that's totally yellow. And that's the adult education program. You can see there wasn't anything there in 17-18, there wasn't anything there in the amended budget, and there's the new set of figures that are in the grant that we just received. So they have given us, they broke down the salaries and the benefits to be as is written here. $55,800 for the teachers, and I don't know exactly what capacity we'll be using these people in, but this is the money that the grant allocated. And $27,000 for other salaries and wages. I think there'll be some classified people who will be doing some data analysis and things of that sort. And then $6,000 for Social Security, $7,000 for state retirement, $300 unemployment compensation, Medicare liability, $1,200. I put $100 in there for the hybrid retirement, just in case one of them is a brand new teacher, that we need to pay in that, so we don't have to have another amendment. And then travel of $1,000, instructional supplies for $4,900, and $2,700 for other equipment. I think there were some computers that may have to be purchased for this specific program.
Is that a one-time grant, Peggy, or do we have to reapply every
I
year?
think we have to reapply every year, so hopefully if we do a good job, then hopefully we'll be able to keep it. It's very important to the county, I think, to have this grant for those people that we did not serve well the first time through. So, usually it's our fault, not the kids. We just couldn't figure out a way to make it. Anyway, it changed our total instruction sum to $54,336,500. So that is just the additional $106,000 and minus the $52,500 that the state said put. So if you'll turn the page, you can see where we put these same people. They wanted added them out of an instruction line and into a supervisory line, because they did not do actual instruction. And the people that we're talking about are, OTPT people who do, 25-hour-a-week jobs, but they wanted them listed as medical personnel. And so that's where we moved that $50,000 to. And then on the next page, you can see that we had $30,000 in there for Social Security for this group, and now we've added it to, $32,000. And then we had $7,000 as employer Medicare liability, and we just added $500 to that, to make that total STED program $52,500 more than it was the last time we approved this budget. And then if we keep on turning, you'll see that the next thing that you see is the total support services. And the reason that that is changed is because we added the $52,500 from instruction to the support services. Right, and then down at the bottom of that page, this is where we increased, the pre-K budget, and we just added the lines, to disperse that extra $100,000 into the areas that, were needed to make one more classroom. So the state gave us $100,000, and we will disperse it as they ask. So of course, the county has to put a little bit of money into it, because the money that they give us is all in yellow, but they actually do need to have some, travel, some substitute pay, some instructional supplies, but the state doesn't provide that money. So that other money is money that, we have to kick in. So that added to the total early childhood education. To change that to $1,175,000, it was $1,030,000. No, $1,070,000 is what it was before. All right, so then the total estimated expenditures, you can see there, $83,856,000, and our total expenditures giving us a balanced budget of $84,006,000. Any questions about what we've done? That's a whole lot of talking to tell you 3 things that we did, but.
If there's not any questions, do we have a motion to approve the additions to the 2019-2020 budget? Someone presented a motion by Mr. Davis, second by Mr. Jordan, and no further questions. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. We will take this, I will send this to WT, probably this evening, just in case they can get it approved tonight, because I think they're looking at trying to approve the next year's budget, and they have our old one. They know that, they knew that this was coming, but we didn't have the figures in time. And then I understand that the federal budget may have to have some changes. I've already warned them that it will come and it won't come on time, because we still don't have the numbers in the right slot. So it's, you all passed a resolution that in the federal budget, Dr. Combs could approve those changes. So as soon as we get those changes and he approves those, we'll send them to the finance committee, and hopefully they will do what they're supposed to do and change those numbers to make our budget correct. So that's coming up.
Thank you, Ms. Davis.
Thank you.
Ms. Murdoch,
Sir.
I want to say thank you for the color code.
Well, you're so welcome. Yeah, I need to do something so I can find out where that thing, unfortunately, is quite selfish, so that I could
Well,
find it.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was very well done.
Yeah.
This is for information on other business. As you all know, Dr. Combs has received an outstanding yearly evaluation from the members of the board. In speaking with Dr. Combs and Attorney Steve Shields, Dr. Combs is happy with his evaluation, and he wishes to receive the same 2% raise as the other Sister County Board of Education employees. Dr. Combs has assured us that he isn't interested in a bonus that may be granted by the board in the contract. Therefore, no bonus will be offered per Dr. Combs. On behalf of the board, thank you, Dr. Combs, for your dedication and hard work that you have done for us this past year. We appreciate you very much.
Yes, sir, thank y'all, and I appreciate y'all's support and letting me bounce ideas off of you, and, letting me know when you need something, you don't feel like you've got me, so I appreciate it. I'll tell you, every time I go to another meeting with other superintendents and they tell me stories about, board meetings and such, I thank the good Lord that, we get to work together.
Yeah.
Y'all are great, thank you.
Yeah, you are too. We're glad to have you. And, anybody else want to add to it? Any other business tonight? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Jones, second by Mr. Parker, we'll stand adjourned.